May 23rd, 2022. Of course, we're live every day, 365 days a year. We're kind of messing around with times here to see what time works the best. And today's show looks like about 9:20. We've been ripping through these shows, getting them done fairly quickly. It's just as things grow, and I know you guys don't care, but as things grow as at Pick Dogs and SportsChatPlace.com, which they are every single day, I just have more demands of me on the other side of things. So it just makes it difficult to do the timing of the show. So my options are either no show at all or to get them done when we can. And, unfortunate, but I would say at this point better than nothing. And, I think hopefully at some point it all makes sense. I say it all the time. You don't see any other people out there that own the company out in front of the camera every day, as much as I am, or even remotely close. I mean, actually none of them are out there at all that have, operation our size, and that's for good reason. If they are our size or bigger, they more than likely have a full schedule of other stuff to do as well on top of it. But anyways, who cares? We've got sports today. Golden State Warriors putting the hammer down last night on the Dallas Mavericks. That series is done. We've got the Tampa Bay Lightning put the hammer down. That series is done. Not a lot of things going on. I lost my $15 big play. We'll go into that later. I don't know. Two outs. I had the Dodgers.
Oh, was it the
Dodgers.
I was watching that game. I was so mad at the Phillies catcher. He got off of third base and they tug him out. I thought the Dodgers had him dead to rights, and it was a miracle, actually.
It was
a miracle. No matter how you. If you had the Dodgers, it was a terrible travesty. But if you had the Phillies, it was a miracle.
Yeah, it was a tough way to lose. The thing, it's one of those games where it's like it's a tough way to lose, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I was on the right side of the bet. It didn't win, so it's not the right side, right? But it's that's why they play the games, and that's why you play the games till the final out. Is because of scenarios like that. And, there'll be some that we win like that. I had the Minnesota Twins yesterday against the Royals. They were dead to rights as well. And they actually, won the game. They didn't have the game given to them. A routine ball to the second baseman, he can't field it and throw the ball to first base. 2 runs score. The ball never leaves the infield. I don't know.
You saw some routine plays that the Phillies messed up too, so it kind of went both ways.
They do that all season, though. It's like
Phillies had guys on base and then the double play. I mean, they had multiple opportunities to score. The Dodgers booted that at the end, and you don't see that maybe once in 1,000 ground balls like that. But
tell me about it. Anyway, speaking about once,
both ways it worked yesterday.
It works both ways. We know that. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes it rains. It's no truer words were ever spoken. But anyways, we go to the NHL. Get things started today. I don't even know. Are there games? Yes, there are 2 games. We've got the Tampa Bay Lightning looking to close out the Florida Panthers, and the St. Louis, I guess that's why they call them the Blues, up against the Colorado Avalanche. Chris, what's the score in that Avalanche Blues series?
2-1 Colorado after a 5-2 win for the Avs on Saturday night.
And what do you think of these 2 series? Is it all over in Tampa tonight?
Potentially. I mean, the Panthers
when it's an elimination game for one team, it's always potentially.
Yeah, I know.
Almost over. Thanks for the insight.
Didn't you see my cape? It's Captain Obvious Day, but. No, I think this is going to be another low-scoring game. I'm looking at the under in this one, mainly because the Panthers haven't been able to figure out the Lightning. And I also expect Tampa Bay to have a bit of an issue here. I think Florida ratchets up the intensity defensively, the physicality. Neither team's going to want to give up an inch here. And I could honestly see a replica of what we saw in Game 2, which was a 2-1 game. Wouldn't be surprised if we needed overtime here either, but I like the under 6 in that game.
Brian, any thoughts on either of these games?
Yeah, the first game, the Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay, I'm down about 410 units with the Florida Panthers, but You know, and I'm just going to go down with the ship and take the Panthers tonight. I also really love Chris's play on the under. I think 6.5. I think it's going to be a war. I could see a 2-1 type of game. So 6.5. I like that a lot. So under and Panthers for me.
Everyone knows I hate I really hate the Tampa Bay Lightning, but you have to give credit where credit is due. I haven't watched 1 second of these playoffs, but I can tell you right now that when you put up a 3-0 lead, the NHL is the one sport that does have the comebacks from the 3-0 more than any of the others. But I don't know. I think that playoff experience, I'm big on playoff and postseason experience. I think it is a different game. I think having that kind of stuff always comes in handy. Always. You just have those guys. It's like, why did everyone always want Mark Messier on their team? Well, because he's a Hall of Famer, right? The leader and all those other things. But also, he had the major league playoff experience, and he, when he did it time and time again with different teams, you see guys, that can't necessarily do it with a number of teams. They might have been good here, whatever, but. That playoff experience, there's something to be said about it. And also the guys that have been there and done that, they kind of have at some point felt the other side of it. And it's like most of the guys that have felt the other side of it, we've all lost championships at some level, right? And, it's like you never want to feel like that again. You never want to feel like that again. So
it reminds me when I lost the capping championship. I felt like that.
Well, we've all, the capping championship.
I'm just messing.
The world championship?
Well, yeah, I was the 15th time, and I almost became 16th. But sorry, like Ric Flair.
Yes. That's the elusive 16th world handicapping championship. What are these championships? It's the fourth game of the 78 World Series. I got it right. Champion.
Of the Southwest Regional. And
I don't know, man. I've never heard of a handicapping championship. I know that the Hilton is generally considered the championship. If you win the Hilton, you're generally considered the world champion. That's the way it used to be. But it's not even the Hilton anymore. It's the Westgate. And now the Circa contest is probably bigger. Didn't take them long. But, Brian, what are you selling today?
Boy, I'm off the worst weekend I've ever had, maybe ever. But we're going to bounce back today. I'm so glad we're in a new week.
You had the Phillies. Did you have the Phillies?
That was just a free pick. I don't count that. The only winning play I had yesterday was the Dallas Mavericks. So 1-4, terrible. So this is a new week though. I've had bad weekends before. That's not gonna just crawl in a hole and not show up. I'm ready to bounce back today. I love today's card. It's small, but I got
you
three.
You were to crawl into a hole. Go ahead.
I don't got the cap or flu today. I'm here, ready to get back to winning. I got my best bets in a 3-pack today. 2 Major League Baseball, 1 NBA. Get them for $40 at pickdogs.com. I'm due for a bounce back today for sure.
Chris?
Yeah, and I dropped my my MLB pickoff play yesterday. Frustrating, but it's not many times you get knocked down. I had the Brewers run line. Did not show up at all.
I kind of, we talked about that game on the show, and I had that weird feeling. I mean, did you hear me talk about the game on the show? And I was just like, I got that weird. It was just, there was no handicapping to it. It was just one of those feelings that you kind of feel, and you're just like, I've seen the Nationals go for 10 runs in spots like this before. It's like, remember that Giants game where they scored like 10 on them? It was like the same scenario, like a Sunday afternoon. It was like,
and it was just, Freddie Peralta just did not show up to work.
Second time this season that he's had that, where he's just, he's out to lunch.
He's put up just a clunger.
Well, how are you coming back today?
Today, well, like I said, it's not many times you get knocked down. It's how many you get back up. I've got another MLB $15 pickoff play up. Still trying to hold on to that number 1 spot last 7 days. So gonna have a bounce back day today. Start the week with a bang. I also got a couple of NHL plays in for long-term subscribers as well.
Watch out for that bang that Ruffalo's starting.
You had a positive day yesterday, Ruffalo, so it wasn't all bad.
No, it wasn't all bad. I really wanted that.
I'll take that right now.
No, that's true.
I love the pissing and moaning. Love it. It's like the YouTube comments have become like, I love Ron's rundown, right? I mean, everyone's like, oh, I start my day with Ron's rundown. You know, all the comments and stuff. Me too. You know, it's like me too, right? So it's like, you know, but his commenters, like he has a different crowd, right, than a lot of us normal pick dog or community, and they're all part of our community now, welcome in our community, and you know, expect that Ron will be running down all kinds of sports, you know, in the future with us, you know, for a very, very long time. But it seems that his audience are really the whiners, like the pissers and moaners. It's like, oh, my 17 parlay got ruined, and it's always like some minus 295 favorite that lost, you know. It's like my 17 parlay lost by the, you know.
It's the Yankees didn't win.
Yeah, the Brewers, the Yankees, the Dodgers, you know, the teams that have been the big, you know, minus 260s and plus favorites. But anyways, I lost my big play yesterday. The ball, was it Muncy? Is that who it was? The ball bounced.
Yeah,
the ball, a slow roll, really not even a slow roll. It was a routine ground ball to the second baseman with 2 outs. All he's got to do is field the ball and throw it to first. I mean, this is baseball 101. It wasn't like a tough play, an odd bounce.
I was wishing for it happened. I couldn't believe it.
I know, but it was like, the thing was, it wasn't a tough play. It wasn't like an odd bounce. There was nothing to it. It was almost like he had the Phillies. It was almost like that. And I'm not saying, you know, that's what happened, but it's like, if people want to say Vegas or whatever, or Pennsylvania sports betting, any of those sort of things, oh man, it sure looked like it on that one, because you have a major league player dropping a routine ground ball to the second baseman, guys on second and third, 2 runs score to lose the game with the ball never leaving the infield on a routine ground ball. It wasn't like a tough play where he had to hustle in and grab it in bare hand and, you know, threw it away into the dugout. It was not any of those things. It was a routine ground ball to the second baseman. It maybe went over, caught some of the mound, but that's normal. I mean, that's baseball, right? I mean, that's part of the game. Bastards. Anyways, I'm going to let it go. Probably by sometime within the next 17 to 18 years, I'm gonna let this one go, and I'm gonna file this one. Because we were talking about the bad beats yesterday with Big Al, but today I bounced back. I've got another big play. I've also got a Major League Baseball 3-pack, and my Major League Baseball 3-pack does not include my big play today. So I always write on the description if it does include the big play or if it does not include the big play. Today it does not include the big play, but all my packages, all my daily packages are always guaranteed, and my long-term packages are way affordable. I dropped all my prices. I was just like, you know what? I could see, like, when people buy the $15 big play and stuff, it's because that's what fits their budget. So I said, why not just make all my packages fit your budget, and if you want them, and if not, if you want the $15 big play, that's guaranteed. It ends up costing you a little bit more than just buying the weekly or the 3-day or whatever, but it's like it's guaranteed that way, you know. So if it doesn't win, you get your money back. You guys know, it's like whatever works for you guys, you know. It's just I have to keep it fair for everybody. And, you know, to me, that's what it's all about. But anyways, speaking about keeping it fair, we head to Pittsburgh, where the Pirates, 18 runs by the Cardinals yesterday. We love that over, and oh my, why was it over? 18-4. 2 safeties that the Pirates managed to get in one game, but really didn't tell the whole story, because the 2 touchdowns, the 2-point conversion, and the field goal on the other side of things. 18-4 Cardinals. Anyways, Pirates, Brubaker up against Chad Kuhl, making his triumphant return to the River City. Did not have a lot of success as a member of the Pirates, and his last 2 outings, a little on the rough side. We've got Vladdy Gutierrez up against Drew Smiley. Brian Bitler loves Vladdy Daddy. and another strong pitching. I mean, we're at that point in the rotations, like they come around and it's like some teams are at number 1, other teams are at number 5-ish. It's like we're at that slate of games. So we got Johan Adon up against Tyler Anderson. Oh my God. How is Tyler Anderson minus 213 against a professional team? That's how bad Adon is. Brian, what do you think of these 3 gems?
Well, this is a tough grouping here. I'm going to take the over in the Cubs and Reds. Vlad Gutierrez could give up the over on his own. He's been brutal this year. And Smiley, I think he's had 2 rough starts in a row. I have to look at my notes here. I think 2 teams combined for over 9. And then Washington and the Dodgers, that's a public special here. It pains me to take the Dodgers, but I think they bounce back today. I'll take a minus 1.5 against the Nationals, but I don't love it. It's just the lead.
Chris?
Yeah, and I'm going over in a few different ways across the board here. I'm going to go with the over in that Colorado-Pittsburgh matchup. How do you have a total only set at 8 when Cools had an 11 ERA in his last 2 starts and JT Brubaker, he has been getting teed off on for much of the season, or when he's actually pitching half decent. The Pittsburgh Pirates have a hard time stepping it up for him. I do lean towards Pittsburgh in that game. It maybe is more of a fade from Cool than anything, and the Rockies just 1-9 in their last 10 as a road dog. So lean towards the Pirates there too. And I'm going to take the team totals in both for both the Chicago Cubs and the LA Dodgers over. Vlad Gutierrez and an ERA over 10 at home this season. Even in a small sample size, that's still a massive ERA. And which, like you said, Johan Adon, just absolutely terrible. And even when he pitches well, the Nationals let him down. But I think today it's all about him getting blown up by this Dodger lineup. So team totals over for the Cubs and Dodgers for me there as well.
I'm going to go with the Reds here against the Cubs. I know they haven't had a lot of success against the Cubs, but the Reds are playing the much better baseball here than the Chicago Cubs are. It's not even close. And, the Reds, kind of the beneficiary of that 3-21 start is now. This is when we get to cash in on that. So you have to figure at just plus 110 for the Cincinnati Reds. They're probably minus 140, is really what they should be here. So, we're getting a ton of value here on the Reds. You have a super popular public team in the Chicago Cubs who has owned the Reds. And then, in the Reds, they've been playing the better baseball. They have the better record over the last 10 games. They had the horrible start, so you got the nice stigma attached to them. I think we can go Reds even on the reverse run line here.
But Vlad stinks. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
I would love it if it was anybody else pitching.
So Vlad's all right. So Vlad is Vlad, right? We know that. We understand that, and that's part of what you have to accept when you make this wager. But at the same time, is Drew Smiley the second coming of Randy Johnson? I don't think so. No one ever confused Drew Smiley for Roy Halladay, or maybe for a better reference for Brian, since he is a lefty, Steve Carlton. Who would you rather have, Drew Smiley or Steve Carlton? It's
no,
like,
of course.
Exactly. So it's not like Drew Smiley's going to come in and offers the Cubs just so much of a better option than Vladdy. Yeah, we don't like being on Vladdy. It's not our comfort zone. We understand that. It's not like, oh man, I can't wait till Gutierrez pitches again.
I could get talked into the Reds. I just feel like the over is a comfortable position here with 2 crappy teams.
It's like remember like when no one could figure out Nola and Snell, when those 2 guys were under the radar guys. It was like
Nola still has
yes.
He still strikes out batters.
I know, but I'm talking about like when we were getting good prices on those guys. Like back when like Nola was like a plus 130 guy, and so was Snell. Tyler Anderson is another one. I like the over in that game. I like over 17 in that Nationals. Oh, Yurfee. And the Yurfee.
You might have 3 Yurfies in these first 3 games.
I think we could go Yurfee. And you know what? These early games generally in baseball, because if you guys follow me on Twitter, and it's not a promotion to follow me on Twitter or whatever, but if you do follow me on Twitter, I don't tweet all that often. But when I do, it's usually about the Yurfee. And it's usually about the number of games that have hit like right out of the gate on the Yurfee. Like 4 of the first 5 Yurfies have hit. It's like, And I think today is another one of those days. I agree with Chris Ruffalo on that one. We go to the Yankees. Here's your minus 330 favorite, Cole, up against Jordan Lyles. Oh, man, the Yankees have owned the Orioles, but this is just a tough spot. We got Tucker Davidson up against Zach Wheeler as the Braves host the Phillies. And we've got the Twins hosting the Tigers. The thing about this one for me, Chris, is I knew a guy named Tucker. And you could really come up with the creative nicknames thinking of like if he did something wrong or if he did something, good or, whatever. There's like Tucker, it works in just so many ways. It's just one of those names that it's a gift that just keeps on giving. So aside from the baseball angle today, you just don't see a lot of Tuckers out there. And you think, maybe his parents, had it in for this guy.
Maybe.
What do you think of what do you think of these 3 games? I like Jordan Lyles. I always bet against Cole though. So.
Well, first off, before I forget, could I perhaps talk into the play that I'm making of
-1
Dodgers Nationals over 2.5 runs first inning?
Oh, I love that, and I
plus
also
plus 525.
How about the Yankees -1? We'll save that for Brian. We don't want to steal his play.
All over the -1.
You're gonna get a copyright claim.
Brian's like, you're stealing my premium plays.
You know what? I like the Orioles plus 1.5. You're getting plus 140 on that, at least at the very least right now. At least it looks like. And the Baltimore Orioles have played the Yankees tough. The last series, midweek last week, the Orioles had a couple of 1-run losses in there, including this same matchup, Lyles versus Cole. So I think Baltimore could be a thorn in the Yankees' side here and keep this one close. So I like Baltimore plus 1.5 if they don't win it outright. I'm going to go with the Phillies. I bash Zach Wheeler, but he's pitching half bad, and he isn't pitching half bad. And the amount of times I've screamed "Mother Tucker" when Tucker Davidson is pitching is I need more than my hands and toes. So I need I think the Phillies come out and give us a solid win here and a decent price for Wheeler as well. So give me the Phillies there.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, my sports book's only paying out plus 118 for Orioles, so make sure you guys shop around if you want the Orioles plus 1.5 here. They're 24-18 on the run line this year. And Jordan Lyles, 3 of his last 4 starts have been quality starts. I don't see, and the Yankees just got done getting swept by White Sox yesterday in a doubleheader off of Sunday Night Baseball. I like the Orioles plus 1.5. I think there's value there. And then the best bet, that grouping, the Phillies here, Wheeler. Last 26 innings pitched, he's given up 3 runs, 30-6 strikeout to walk off a very solid 7-inning performance against Tucker Davidson, who we might see an all right performance from, but I think the Phillies will get a boost from yesterday's win. I'll take the Phillies money line.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go Jordan Lyles here. I'm going to just take my shot. That's what I do. I like the Twins here, but I don't like the price. I looked at the run line here with the Twins to see if I could get there with them. I mean, Brisky's not bad. I mean, this guy's the Kershaw killer. So, if anything, it's like you got to try and convince your way onto the Tigers, which I can't do either. But Chris Archer at minus 1.5 is plus 105 if you shop. That's like, I had to shop to get that and to even find that. And it's like, once I got there and I did find it, I still passed. It's kind of like
-1. What's the -1?
It's kind of like I was at Whole Foods yesterday and I went to buy those Rainier cherries. Okay. And it said like $8.99. And I get to the register and it's $8.99 a pound. So I have $37 worth of cherries. I'm like, I think I'm good. I think it's like, it's 30, it rings up at 37. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna put this back.
I could hear the what from all the way up here.
No, it's like I saw it said $8.99, so I was like, all right. So I take the bag, because they have it all in one bag. I take it up there, they put it on the scale. It's like 37. It's like, the thing is, it's like I do like the cherries, and they probably could have got me at the $9, for if they would have just had a pound bag of them. But it's like I saw the 37. That's it. I couldn't do it.
You take the bag back. You just bring back the one cherry and put it on the belt. This is what I'll take. I think we've all been there. Yeah, I had a hard time just getting there on Chris Archer too. I mean, he's trying to pitch a little bit better, but I don't know. Hasn't made it out of the fourth inning.
No.
He didn't even starts this year.
So you got plus 105 at minus a run and a half. Anyways, we move on to our next set of games. And this is the Blue Jays Cardinals, the Astros Guardians, and the Diamondbacks Royals. Brian?
This is a tough grouping here. I think the best bet in this grouping here is the St. Louis Cardinals at home. You got Miles Mikolas, who's been very, very phenomenal. 3-2, 1.68 ERA against Jose Barrios, who can be hit or miss. He's off a very good start. But before that, I think he got blown up in 2 straight. So for me, I think the Cardinals are a solid play at home. And then I'm going to lean towards I've been getting burned by the Diamondbacks, fading them and going on them. But I'm going to lean very smallly on the Kansas City Royals here at Greinke. I think he's kind of shot here, but I think he's the better option over Zach Davies. I think the Royals get it done.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over in that Royals and Diamondbacks game. For a pitcher like Greinke, he's supposed to be a staff ace, and he's had a full line of starts this year. 8 starts with only 18 strikeouts. He's not missing a ton of bats, and I get it. The Diamondbacks don't have an offensively imposing lineup, but any team could be made to look really good if you're not missing their bats. So I think I lean towards the over 8.5 in that one. I'm also not a Zach Davies guy, and that Cleveland-Houston matchup, I'm going to look at Houston on the run line as well as the under 8.5. I think we get a good start from Luis Garcia, and as good as Cleveland's offense can be, I think they're going to have a bit of an issue here with Garcia, and I think Houston does enough to win this one. I think it's maybe 4-2, even could be 5-3, but I think it's finishing under 8.5 as well, with Houston winning on the run line.
Zach Davies has given up 3 or more runs just a few times this season, and it's mostly been against the Dodgers and once against the Mets. He's been really good. I think you're way underestimating him. I think that the Royals are one of the bottom 3 or 4 teams in all of baseball this year. They absolutely suck. And I think we saw it yesterday when they had the 6-0 lead against the Minnesota Twins and couldn't hold on. And it wasn't like they were up 6-0 in the second inning and the Twins packed. We're talking about 6-0 in the 8th inning. And they couldn't get him out. And you lose 7-6. That is not good. And the thing is that the Twins also in the 9th inning, or in the 10th inning, right, in the extras, they had the bases loaded. They only got the one guy in. So you'd think that the Royals would have some momentum there. No way, man. They stink. Royals, the Nationals, these are some of the worst teams you'll see. In the Phillies, these are just horrid, man. Horrid.
The Phillies aren't horrible. Come on. They're underachievers, but they're not horrible.
Like I said. Royals. Nationals. Phillies. Got to throw them in there. Brian's like, and the Heat. You got to put the Heat in there. It's like, so we got the Seattle Mariners up against the Oakland A's. We've got the San Diego Padres against the Milwaukee Brewers, and then we have the Giants and the Mets. Brian, what do you got?
Boy, this is a tough slot here. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers with Hauser on the mound. Padres just got off of a very good series against the Giants here. I'm not a big Nick Martinez guy. And then the Oakland Athletics and Seattle Mariners. I got to lay some juice here, but I'll take the +1.5 in Oakland A's. I don't believe in Gonzalez, even though he's been competent this season for Seattle. But this is their first game back after being on the road for around 10 games, I believe. So I think they come out a little sluggish here.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Padres in that game. I'm not much of a Nick Martinez fan either, but there's no denying what he's done since getting blown up in the majors a few years ago, and then came back to the majors, and now it's having actually a decent year with a Padres lineup behind him that just beat the crap out of the San Francisco Giants. So Adrian Hauser, I think he's better than his numbers would indicate, but I still got to see it from him to really believe it. So I'll take the Padres there. And I like the New York Mets plus money against the San Francisco Giants. I just don't think Alex Cobb's going to be your stopper. I think this Mets team's just playing too well for San Fran to really bounce back and after being taken to the woodshed, like I said, by the Padres. And David Peterson, this guy's been back up and down from the minors multiple times this season. But I think with Max Scherzer being out for at least another month or two, Peterson's going to want to try to hold on to his spot in that rotation. I think we get a good start from Peterson and get the Mets get us a win at plus money.
It's funny when I was looking around at like a lot of these other matchups today and some of these pitchers and some of their like big performances that they've had recently, when they have that like one performance that just looks really odd. It's always against the Seattle Mariners, that. Look at Jose Barrios last time out. 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 91 pitches. Seattle Mariners, 3-0. It's like pretty much, across the board it's like that. And you throw in a Marco Gonzalez and plus 150 odds. Well, it just doesn't take me much more than that to get me on Oakland here. So I'm on Oakland in that one. Nick Martinez now stepping in for the Padres. A little less attractive option there for them than what we were looking at before. And then David Peterson, isn't he a reliever for the Mets?
That's Doug Peterson's kid. Right?
No, David Peterson, I believe, is a reliever. He pitched the other day in relief. So this could be a bullpen game for the Metropolitans. Yeah, he's a reliever.
It looks like they're begging you for Mets.
Oh, they have two. They have 2 David Petersons. Nice. Tricky. Very tricky. 3. Oh, Brian, how about this line? You don't. The last time we saw him in a major league uniform, 3 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run on 57 pitches.
Wow.
Yes, and he's back. He's back. He's back. This is a first-round draft choice. 20th pick overall. I think I'll pass on that game. We go to the NBA. We got the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Game 4 in Boston Garden. I like the over in penalties in foul calls in this game. And I also think that there will be some technicals here, too. I like the over in the technicals and anything associated with physical play. Chris?
Yeah, I think there is going to be a ton of physical play. I think you're 100% right about that. I think this is going to be like 1990 style, guys throwing each other to the floor kind of basketball. But I think it narrowly crept over the total on Saturday in Game 3. But I think Game 4 you're going to see a bit of a greater focus on defense. I think neither team, wants to lose this one, obviously, but especially the Boston Celtics, who don't want to go back to Miami down 3-1 in that series. I think they're going to try to ratchet up the defensive intensity, but they're also banged up. Both teams are banged up, and I think we're going to see a bit of a slower pace here and try to pick apart the opposing team. So I like the under 207.5. I think this one stays under 200.
For me in this contest, I was trying to find reasons to take the Boston Celtics because I know how much Mitch is in love with Miami in the playoff run this year, but I just couldn't do it. Miami's just with the points you're getting, they're 5-1 last 6 on a Monday. They're 13-5-1 on the road and 4-1 last 5 in Boston. I think the Celtics win this game almost for sure.
You think they care what day of the week it is?
They don't care what the day of the week is. I just think the Miami Heat are a tremendous value play getting points. I think it's a one-possession game. I think the Celtics win it, but the Heat cover tonight.
All right. I think
it pains me to say it, but
I think we cash our Heat plus 1.5 very shortly.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we don't cash it tonight, we're cashing it the next game, so it really don't matter. We were all in that one. We were all in the same bet.
Celtics could win the rest of the games. It could be,
well, then you won't win your bet. We all bet the same thing. I believe so.
I know. I'm just saying.
We're all in 100% agreement.
I'm trying to argue for the Celtics in some form.
Yeah, well, Jason Tatum's nothing. He's a nobody. It's the problem.
What's his over/under in points? I'd be tempted to take the over in that.
4.
No, it's around 6 years. I'd have to look.
That was a little bit too quick. Hold on. Let me see. I know his points, rebounds, and assists was 39.5.
So it's got to be like in the 26 range, 24.5. Jaylen Brown is 24.5.
Yeah.
Wow,
Jason Tatum's 27.5.
Under.
Over.
Under. All right, parlay time.
I can tell you, I will not be going to with that Heat game for sure. Not try to ruffle any feathers.
Brian?
For me in my parlay, I'm going to take the Miami Heat plus the points here, the Baltimore Orioles plus the 1.5, and the best team in baseball, the Philadelphia Phillies, on the money line today.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over 8 in that Rockies-Pirates matchup. The Dodgers and Nationals, Yerfie, and the Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm going to go with the Oakland A's, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and parlay that up with the over in the Giants-Mets game. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.